Hey guys, it's Bina, and we are finally here. Path of Exile 2 is here. I am playing, and of course, in a typical Bina fashion, I am opting to go for ballistas. I did not have like any specific plans in mind. I just knew I wanted to go for the class that had ballistas, and you know, go for the fantasy of the class. Not do anything fancy. We don't know anything about the game. You know, it's a vastly different game than Path of Exile 1. I would say this is more like a Souls-like ARPG than a complete blaster, just mindless killing of monster. But who knows how it's going to translate into the end game. I have now cleared the campaign once, well, Act through 1 to 3. And I'm now going through the new game plus type of thing, where it's the second half of the campaign, but they just restarted the first 3 acts. So, I am playing, trying to make my skills deal mainly damage with Artillery Ballista. So Artillery Ballista is a skill that shoots a bolts, it shoots bolts skywards, and then they fall down and then they explode. So basically lots of explosions. So right here I'm using acceleration to have more projectile speed, which will make them fall to the ground faster. And then I'm giving them scatter shot. A scatter shot adds 2 additional projectiles. So instead of just one big explosion, I got like 3 explosions. And I'm using this for extra fire damage, right? So I'm just gonna go over what I did. I'm playing as a mercenary, as a Gemling Legionnaire. My character is not well geared at all. My resistances are kind of lacking, 49, 48, 13. You know, I'm just enjoying the game as anyone else, and going for the build that I wanted to go for, which is trying to scale Artillery Ballista. I also tried... There's another ballista skill that you could try, which is Ripwire Ballista, which is more like a typical ballista that just shoots bolts in front of it, but it dealt just way less damage than Artillery Ballista. So I feel like I want to go for this. I have also oil grenade and gas grenade. So basically, Artillery Ballista does a lot of fire damage. It converts a lot of its damage to fire. So going with oil grenade and gas grenade, just had some synergies with this. With oil grenade inflicting fire exposure, which reduces lower fire res by 20%, and then gas grenade does a poison gas, which also will break armor and which also will explode if ignited, and so like my ballista can ignite as well. And so yeah, I'm just going for something fun. This is not anything like a build guide, just what I tried initially, and I have a few thoughts about the mercenary and how you can go about having a good time if you try to level with the mercenary. So the first like 30 minutes were quite challenging, but there are some things that you can do if you want to have a better time. One of them is using your combos properly, right? So when you start out, you don't have access to a lot of skills. The basic combo I would say would be like permafrost bolts to freeze an enemy, and then fragmentation rounds to actually pop them. Basically, you freeze something and you pop into frag rounds, and it does a ton more damage in an AoE around the target. That would be like my basic combo at the very start here. But as soon as you unlock Galvanic Shards, Galvanic Shard is a lightning skill, right? And it just shoots. It's kind of like the shotgun crossbow, but it chains towards other targets as well. And very early on, you unlock this, and it's very good for clear, which is the main thing that I felt that I was lacking. Obviously now I'm just using this as a support option to like actually get some electrocute off. So yeah, very strong Galvanic Shard. As soon as I unlocked it, I did not really have to do any combos anymore. I just felt like it was just strong enough on its own to carry me for a long portion of the campaign. Of course, eventually you'll unlock more things, and you can test yourself as well what you want to do. But Galvanic Shards, don't sleep on it. Very strong and very versatile skill. So let's go over a little bit of what I did. First of all, here I am a Gemling Legionnaire. I went for quality of skills as my well actually I went for attribute requirement of gem can be satisfied by your highest attributes first. So adaptive capability just makes me able to explore more about the game, you know, and like focus on different things, different gems, experiment, swap gems around. Yeah, I just wanted like a versatile class at first, so I did not go for the Witch Hunter, which has like, you know, explosions of monsters that explode for their life when they get killed, or like Culling Strike, Decimating Strike, stuff that just like increases your damage dramatically. I went for a more versatile approach. So quality of skills basically will give me quality to all of my skills, which has many different benefits, which could be damage or tankiness or utility or whatever else. And also, yeah, this one, adaptive capability. I went for Gemling Legionnaire. You start out as a mercenary. So the first thing I did is I grabbed a lot of projectile damage. So I just wanted to go with as much projectile damage as possible. I actually went to the right here then for projectile damage with reduced attack speed. Also more projectile damage here. And I went for the movement speed nodes here. Which I think, honestly, these nodes are not bad, and I might actually go back into them. But I ended up eventually swapping out of it to go grab some totem things. So +1 number of maximum totems and +1 number of maximum totems. This makes me a total of 3 totems that I can summon. And when I'll get access to more slots, I'll probably add a 4th totem here on Artillery Ballista. But that is what I went for right here. So I unspec from these nodes to go down here. I went for attack damage while you have an ally in your presence. And your allies have 100 accuracy rating. And then I went also towards the damage penetrates 15% fire res. Because most of my damage is fire. So I went for this. Chance to ignite just to get more combo with oil and gas grenade here. Because like if you ignite enemies, your gas grenade will actually explode. I have some crossbow reload speed. I have some increased damage with crossbow for each type of ammunition fired in the past 10 seconds. So the more you swap out different types of ammunitions, the more damage you will deal. Grenades have a chance to activate a second time. So like grenades is another thing that is like quite powerful right now. I think that most people are going for grenade builds, but at least from what I understand, this seems to be what does the most damage. But I just want to experiment and have a feel for it, and all the min-maxing will come at a later time. Once we get to the end game, once we get to explore more about all the game mechanics and what do we actually need to be successful, you know? So the other thing I went for here is attack penetrates 50% of LA res, and also more ignite, freeze, shock, and electrocute buildup. Electrocute is extremely good and extremely potent. Early on, you don't have access to electrocute on galvanic shards, but right now I do have it. Before I had access to this, I was using another skill. I was using voltaic grenade instead to build electrocution, to be able like to just CC monsters. This game is very much like a Souls-like ARPG, and like CCing monsters is extremely potent, extremely strong, and just being able to like have them not do anything while you deal your damage is very, very strong. So that is the basic idea I went for. So I'm still going to scale ballistas as high as I can. My gear is not crazy. I have two weapons here. I have one crossbow that has +2 level of all projectile skills. So this is the most important thing on a ballista build, because ballistas have their own weapons. So it uses its own weapon, dealing 51 to 76 base fist damage. So it doesn't matter what weapon that you have, but the level of the gem will increase that base physical damage roll. So that will be very, very good if you want to deal a lot of damage with your artillery ballistas, is increasing the level of your gem as much as possible, right? So I have one here, +2 level of projectile skill. It's the main thing I'm using this for. And everything else, I have it on swap. So I have like, my passageway has the 2 weapon sets, one for ballista and one for my regular attacks. And I have this other one here for my other skills. Other than that, I have some basic things. I'm trying to get some resistances up. I found this ring which has like, you know, some fire synergies, and also so the ignite and flick will spread the other enemies around, also give me some regen. So like just really, really basic stuff. My gloves are absolutely garbage. I absolutely need to find more gloves, but I spent so much gold respecking and trying different things out that I don't have much gold for gambling at the vendor. I would suggest gambling, buying from the vendor, looking at upgrading just you know, white pair of gloves with orbs of transmutation and augmentation to try to craft. You know, I'm using whatever I can to try to get by, but I don't have a very good gear. And yeah, that's pretty much sums up my initial release day or two with the build. And I cannot wait to play more of this. This is going to be very, very different from any other ARPG that you have played. It has all the systems that Path of Exile 1 had, but the gameplay is vastly different. and even how you build your character will probably be very, very different from Path of Exile 1. So that is all I have for today, guys. I'll keep playing, I'll keep updating my build, and yeah, I'll see you guys all in Path of Exile. See you guys.